Hello and welcome to English Unlocked. I am Luna.
And I am Luca. We are really happy you are here with us today.
Yeah, today we want to talk about something that I think a lot of people feel, but do not always talk about.
Right. Have you ever finished saying something and then immediately thought, why did I sound so unsure just now?
Oh, I know that feeling so well. You have a clear idea in your head, but when the words come out, something is different.
Exactly. You sound nervous or small or like you are apologizing for speaking at all.
And the strange thing is, you actually knew what you wanted to say. You were not confused, you just did not sound confident.
So today we are talking about why we sometimes sound less confident than we really are.
We will look at the small habits, the little word choices, the tiny sounds that can make us seem unsure even when we are not.
And we will share some real stories, some things that happen to us, because this is not just an English learner problem.
No, it really is not. This happens to everyone. Native speakers, experienced professionals, people who talk for a living.
So if you have ever felt this, if you have ever walked away from a conversation thinking, I did not sound like myself, this episode is for you.
You are in the right place. Let us start.
Can I tell you about a moment that still makes me cringe a little?
Please. Yes.
A few years ago, I was in a big meeting, and I had this idea, a really good idea. I believed in it.
Okay, so you were prepared.
I thought I was, but when I started speaking, I said something like, I am not sure if this is the right thing, but maybe we could, I don't know, possibly consider doing it this way.
Oh no.
And everyone just nodded and moved on. No one said it was a bad idea. They just did not take it seriously.
Because of how you said it.
Exactly. Not because of the idea, because of all those little words I added. Maybe, I don't know. Possibly, I'm not sure.
I call those the apology words.
That is a perfect name for them.
Because what they are really saying is, please do not judge me for what I am about to say.
Yes, you are pre-apologizing for your own thought.
And when you do that, people hear the apology, not the idea.
That is the real problem. You have a strong thought, but the language around it is weak, so the whole thing feels weak.
Have you ever noticed yourself doing that in English as a learner?
All the time, because when you are speaking in a second language, you already feel uncertain, so you add even more apology words.
It is like a double layer of unsureness.
Right? You are unsure about the language, and you are unsure about how people will receive you, so you soften everything.
And you end up sounding like you do not believe your own words. So let us talk about why this happens, because I think there is a deeper reason than just language habits.
I think so too.
For me, a big part of it is fear of being wrong in public.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if I say something with too much confidence and then I am wrong, I will feel embarrassed. So I protect myself in advance.
You hedge. You say maybe and possibly, so that if you are wrong, you can say, well, I never said I was sure.
Exactly. It feels safer. But it also means you are never really committing to anything you say.
And people feel that. They can hear when you are not fully standing behind your words.
There is also the fear of taking up too much space, especially, I think, for people who grew up being told to be quiet, or not to be arrogant, or not to show off.
That is so real. In many cultures, speaking with too much confidence sounds rude. It sounds like you think you are better than others.
So you learn to make yourself smaller, to add softening words, to ask permission before sharing an opinion.
And those habits stay with you, even when you are in a situation where confidence is actually needed.
Yeah. The habit becomes automatic. You do not even notice you are doing it.
That is the tricky part. Most of the language habits that hurt our confidence are invisible to us.
We have been doing them for so long that they just feel normal.
So the first step is actually noticing them.
Just becoming aware, that alone can be really powerful.
Let us talk about some specific habits because I think naming them helps.
Definitely. One of the biggest ones is what I mentioned before, the softening words.
Maybe, possibly, kind, sort of. I don't know. I guess.
These words are not always bad. Sometimes maybe is honest. Sometimes I'm not sure is true.
Right. The problem is when you use them to protect yourself, not because they are accurate.
Like if someone asks, "What time should we meet?" and you say, "I don't know, maybe around 3, I guess." If that works for you?
When actually you just wanted to say, 3 o'clock works for me.
Yes. That is a clear, simple answer. But it got buried under all those extra words.
Another habit I notice is the rising tone at the end of statements.
Oh, yes. When every sentence sounds like a question.
You say something true, but your voice goes up at the end like you are asking if it is okay.
My name is Luna. I work in education. I think this is a good idea.
It sounds like you want permission to exist
And it makes people unsure whether to believe you.
because you do not sound sure yourself,
There is also the habit of over-explaining before you get to the point.
like giving a long introduction to protect yourself before you say the real thing.
I know this might sound strange and you might not agree, and I could be wrong about this, and I haven't thought about it fully, but
By the time you get to the actual idea, the listener is already tired.
and they have already picked up on the signal. This person is not confident about what they are about to say.
All three of these habits come from the same place, fear of judgment.
Ethics is not about being louder or more aggressive.
No, it is about trusting yourself enough to just say the thing.
I want to share something that changed how I thought about this.
Please.
A few years ago, I was in a situation where I had to speak in front of a group. Not a huge group, maybe 15 people. But still,
That already sounds stressful.
it was. And I remember practicing what I wanted to say. And every time I practiced it, I added more softening words.
To make it sound less scary.
Yes. So in my head, I was saying, just tell them what you found. Just say the information clearly. But in my practice, I kept adding, I think maybe, and it could be that.
So your preparation was actually making you less confident.
Exactly. And then something happened. Right before I spoke, someone I respected said to me, "You already know this. Just say what you know."
Oh, that is simple but powerful.
It was. Because I realized the information was solid. I did know it. The problem was that I did not trust myself enough to present it simply.
You were wrapping the truth in so much protection that the truth could not breathe.
Right? So I made a choice. I was going to say each sentence and stop. Not add extra words. Not apologize in advance. Just say the thing.
How did it feel?
Terrifying for the first 3 sentences. And then, fine. Actually, more than fine. People were nodding. They were listening.
Because you gave them something clear to follow.
And I realized confident speaking is not about being bold or dramatic. It is about being clear.
That is such a good point. Clarity is confidence.
When you say something simply and directly, people hear it as confident, even if inside you are nervous.
The outside can lead the inside.
Yes. You do not have to feel confident first. You can speak confidently and then feel it.
I want to talk about something specific now, because I think for English learners there is an extra layer to this.
Yes, definitely.
When you are speaking in your second language, you already feel exposed. You know your English is not perfect, so you become even more careful.
And being careful often looks like adding more softening words, more hesitation, more apology.
Sorry, my English is not very good, but is something I hear so often.
And I understand it. It comes from kindness. You want to warn people in advance so they are patient with you.
But it also signals, before you even start, that you do not fully believe in what you are about to say.
And sometimes people then take you less seriously, not because of your English, but because of your opening.
Right? You have already told them not to expect much.
There is also the problem of silence. When you are thinking of a word or building a sentence in English, there is a pause.
And that pause can feel enormous.
You feel like everyone is watching you struggle. So you fill the pause with I mean, like, you know.
And those fillers are completely normal. Everyone uses them.
But when you use too many, it can sound like you are lost, even if you are not.
The difference is between a thinking pause and a lost pause.
A thinking pause feels calm. You stop, you think, you continue. It is natural.
A lost pause feels panicked. You add fillers, you start over, your voice changes.
And the key is, again, to trust the pause, to let yourself think without immediately trying to fill every second.
That takes practice, but it makes such a difference.
When you let a pause exist without panicking, you actually sound more in control.
Yes, the pause becomes part of your communication, not a break in it. Can we talk about the deeper fear for a moment?
Yes, I think we should.
Because I think a lot of the habits we have been describing, the softening words, the apology openings, the rising tone, they all come from one central fear.
What do you think that fear is?
The fear of being seen, really seen, and then rejected.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I speak quietly and tentatively and I add all these softening words and someone disagrees with me or ignores me, I can tell myself it was just my presentation.
Not really you.
Right? I protected myself. But if I speak clearly and directly and confidently and someone still dismisses me, well, that hurts more.
Because then you cannot pretend it was just how you said it. It was actually you they did not respond to.
Exactly. Confidence makes you visible. And visibility feels risky.
I think that is one of the most honest things we have said today.
And I think that fear is universal. It does not matter if English is your first language or your fifth.
The fear of being truly heard and not accepted. That is one of the most human fears there is.
So the question becomes, can I be willing to be seen? Can I be willing to let people hear the real me, even knowing they might not respond the way I hope?
And that is not a small question. That is a big, brave question.
But I think it is the right question. Because if you keep hiding behind soft language and apology words, you are never really giving yourself a chance.
People cannot connect with someone who is always half invisible.
Right? And you deserve to be heard. Your thoughts deserve to be heard.
Even in imperfect English.
Especially in imperfect English.
So let us talk about some real practical things people can do. Not big dramatic changes, but small shifts.
Yes, small is good. Small is sustainable.
One thing I really believe in is shortening your sentences when you feel nervous.
Oh, that is interesting. Say more.
When we are nervous or unsure, we tend to make our sentences longer. We keep adding more and more words to soften the impact.
Because we are scared of how the sentence will land if it is short and clear.
Exactly. So instead, try to say less. Cut the sentence in half. Say the core thing and stop.
Instead of, I was thinking that maybe we could consider trying a different approach if that seems okay to everyone, say, I think we should try a different approach.
Full stop. Done. And then let the silence exist.
That sounds so much more confident, even though the idea is exactly the same.
It is, and it is actually harder than it sounds, because the instinct is to keep talking, to keep explaining, to fill the space.
Another small shift. Watch your sentence endings.
Yes? End your sentences on a falling tone, not a rising tone.
Practice saying something simple out loud. This is my idea. Say it flat at the end. Not up, like a question, down, like a fact.
It feels unnatural at first, if you are used to the rising tone.
But try it. Notice how it changes the energy of what you are saying.
Another thing, remove one softening word from each sentence.
Just one, not all of them. Start small.
If you were going to say, I kind of think maybe we should do this, try, I think maybe we should do this.
Or even, I think we should do this.
Each version sounds a little more confident than the last.
And over time, those small shifts add up.
They really do. You do not need to completely change how you speak. You just need to slowly trust yourself more.
I want to challenge something that I think a lot of people believe about confidence.
What is that?
I think a lot of people believe that sounding confident means sounding certain, means never saying I don't know, means always having a strong answer.
And that is not real confidence.
No, real confidence includes being able to say, I don't know, or I'm not sure about that, and saying it without apology.
Yes, there is a big difference between, I don't know, sorry, I probably should know this, I'm really sorry, and I don't know. That is a good question. Let me think.
The first one is shame. The second one is calm honesty.
And calm honesty sounds confident, even though you are admitting you do not know something.
Real confidence is not about having all the answers. It is about being comfortable with who you are in the moment.
Even when the moment is uncertain.
Even when your English is not perfect.
Even when you are nervous.
Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is speaking even though the fear is there.
I love that. And I think for English learners, that is really important to hear. You do not need to wait until your English is perfect to sound confident.
Because confidence does not come from perfect language. It comes from honest, present, clear communication.
And that is available to everyone, right now, at whatever level they are. There is one more thing I want to say before we close, and it is a little different.
Go ahead.
We have been talking about how we sound to other people, how we come across, what signals we send,
Right?
but I think there is also an inner listener, the voice inside you that hears everything you say.
Oh, that is interesting.
And that inner listener is often the harshest critic. Every time you add a softening word, your inner listener hears it and thinks, even I do not believe what I am saying.
That is a little painful to think about.
It is. But it means that speaking with more confidence is not just about other people. It is also about what you say to yourself.
When you speak clearly and directly, even if you are nervous, your inner listener hears that too.
And it starts to believe you. It starts to say, oh, maybe I do have something worth saying.
So the practice of confident speaking is also a practice of self-belief.
Yes, you are not just trying to impress the people in the room, you are also slowly convincing the most important listener, yourself.
That is really beautiful, Luna.
I think about it a lot, because I have noticed in my own life, the more I practice speaking clearly and without apology, the more I actually believe my own thought.
The outside changes the inside.
It does. And that is a gift you give yourself, not just to the people listening.
So before we say goodbye, we want to ask you something.
Think about one situation, just one, where you often sound less confident than you feel inside.
Maybe it is at work. Maybe it is with family. Maybe it is when you speak English with new people.
Just one situation. And think about one small shift you could try next time.
One fewer softening word, one shorter sentence, one pause that you let be quiet.
And if you want, leave a comment and tell us about it. We would really love to hear what situation you are thinking about and what small change you might try.
We read your comments, and they always make us feel like this conversation is worth having.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It means a lot.
If today's conversation helped you feel something or helped you see something in a new way, please share it with someone who might need to hear it too.
You can find English Unlocked wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you are on YouTube, leave us a comment or a like. It really helps.
We will see you in the next episode. Until then, speak clearly, trust yourself, and remember, your voice is worth hearing.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.